Зараза. Итак, приветствую вас, дамы и господа, и добро пожаловать на вечернюю трансляцию по финалке. О, боже мой, она не кончается. Да, она не кончается. Никогда не кончается. Так, это я взял. Здравствуйте, Алекс Дарк, здравствуйте, Алекс, здравствуйте, Халбрехт. Здравствуйте, Косой Зуб, здравствуйте, Джим, здравствуйте, Леда. Здравствуйте, Олег. Мужик глаголит, да. Вот на такие жертвы вы идете ради приятной музыки. 5 минут музыки, а потом какой-то хрен. Часов 5 что-то болтает. А потом опять приятная музыка. На что только не идешь. Так, давайте захватим, перезахватим. Во. По идее, сейчас пердеть не должно. Здравствуйте, Евгений. Что за группа играла? И не с вебкой? Не, какой с вебкой? Мужик-то бородатый? Не. Маленькая 8-летняя девочка. А вам показалось? Никаких бородатых мужиков в нашем чате. Ой. Сразу сегодня. Прям не очень. Настроение не очень, все не очень. Я сегодня тоже не очень. Боль, страдания. Негодование. Так, что мы делаем? А мы куда-то идем. Ладно. Выбор наш небольшой, куда идти. Что за группа играл, пожалуйста, если в плейлист добавлю. Какая? Венгерская? Я не знаю. Называется «Венгерские пивные песни». Здравствуйте, драгонастов. Все, вы теперь раб кошки. Мои поздравления. Ключ в скрытности. Врете вы все. Ключ не в скрытности. Нет. Здравствуйте, Олег.
My lord Marquis, is that... It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the mother crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your Lord Uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalamil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
Он был приятно удивлен, что, оказывается, в московском зоопарке есть капибара. Совершенно внезапно. Здравствуйте, Лекроск.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something. It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
The gentleman of the town guard is back.
Ну ладно. Хоть в обход пройти можно. Господи, он куда-нибудь свой рюкзак скидывает, или он прям к нему намертво примотан?
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Dalamil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
Здравствуйте, доктор. Только FF16, не знаю, мне нравится. Хотя есть такие поддушивающие моменты. Тут с новым...
hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this store he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
Тут, короче, с новым, видимо, генеральным директором Скворцы решили упороться по более, видимо, взрослой аудитории. Ну, вот. И говорят, что новый Dragon Quest, который
The gentleman of
12-й,
the town guard is back.
будет ориентирован на взрослую аудиторию.
What a mess.
Такая вот фигня.
You fought very bravely.
Приветствую, Дикон.
Safety of the town is in our hands.
То есть там будут пить, курить, кровяка, вот это вот все.
Like the wind.
То есть матура аудитория будет.
Time to brave the viper's nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours.
Без титьки не то будет. Ну, я думаю, будут титьки. Даже в 16-й финалке обещали титьки, в принципе. Тут их почти показывают, а вот, видимо, в 16-й, типа... Ну, в 17-й будет показывать.
Now, when we could pretend this didn't happen.
Тем более, как бы, всем же известно, что не титька, к счастью. Кто его знает? Да не в титьке. Да где там этот колдун, блин? Блин, ну на самом деле разницы... Я, конечно, не пробовал. Но что-то мне кажется, что разница между 5 титьками, например, и 2 титьками, как бы, разница не особо много. То есть, поскольку руки у тебя 2, как бы толку. Вот. Нет, ну носить, да, имеется в виду лапать. Две руки, две другие лица. И ты можешь 2 руки, как бы, и 2 титьки сразу. Если ты любитель... Да, 2 тебе хватит.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwin finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwin wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
В магазинах имеет смысл содержать генератор с учетом того, что там в
For they
холодильничке.
are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Lord!
Goose, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No,
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goose, no.
Enough, all of you!
О, а ты как нас нашла?
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault!
Нет, это
And
зря.
now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goose, you... If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, wise words. And now, it's time to collect.
А какая... Угрожающая женщина.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It isn't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old wet legs back when we were working the same routes.
Она ему глаз
Said I'd stolen
вырвала.
from his
Ну или
strong
вырезала.
box. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the wet legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough
Она же
attention already.
Wet Legs, я же нормально расслышал, или мне же не показалось? Типа... Мокрые штанишки. Ужас-то какой, ужас. Так, нам сюда. Говорят, кстати, за неделю финалка разошлась на 3 миллиона копий в физическом, вроде как, варианте. Ну или вообще. Ребята, как-то очень неохотно раскрывает инфу. Ну да, секунд, скорее всего, то есть wet legs. Ну, то есть, когда ты описывался, у тебя типа мокрые штаны.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
А вы хороши. Смотрю на огненный навык, и что-то мне кажется, что они не самые дамажные по сравнению со всеми остальными.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment.
Ну блин, там полк, всего 5 человек было.
I arrived in Dalamil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more.
Мол, не больше урона наносит. Не совсем.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist Central Command?
Крыло Феникса больше всего урона наносит.
Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
Ну,
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Молния просто прокачана. Это сильный таргетовый урон. А если посмотреть, то... Крыло Феникса наносит больше всего урона. Ну, как в цель.
There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere. What happened here?
If you're with the others,
They've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
Then you found him. I am Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
Как только какая-то жопа, тут же, блин, на каждом углу 20 тысяч разбойников, а?
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Здравствуйте, Леди Форстер.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
Здравствуйте, Алекс. Да, вспышку можно улучшить? Вроде уже улучшено.
If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell.
Ну да. То есть крылья света улучшены? Блин, ну мастерство в молнии, конечно, стоит как трактор. Да тут еще штука, по идее, прикольная.
Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
Ну и тоже придется где-то 2 раза улучшать, у меня столько очков еще нету.
You needn't fret. The creatures.
Надо будет еще глянуть, где там на ход у кого есть. Чтоб не забыть. Ну. Нет, дружище, башки не твоя сильная сторона.
Run like the wind.
Have care.
This might take a while. Hippocrates said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. You deserve a rest. This must be our wyvern. Right. Let's get this over with.
Не, персон, наверное, не будет. Он 5 русского не будет. Посмотрим, я не проходил третий пацан, ничего про него только не знаю. Знаю, что 5-я как бы шедевр из шедевров, лучший РПГ ever.
That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent.
Здравствуйте, мама. Ну, вижу.
I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect him.
Почему я людям не могу просто, блин, отправить долбаную столу, типа задание выполнено?
I see you're still here. The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
as it is mine.
Так. Что-то я не могу понять, какой еще доп-квест... нужно сделать. Ну, который по главному курсу, там доп-квест какой-то висит.
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about.
Опять какую-то жажу мне готовят. А? О, не смотри, даже выглядит
And here we
неплохо.
have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
Здравствуйте, Варвакс. То ли очень острое, то ли такой себе рецептик.
So, not fit for consumption then.
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking, but I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable, and I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Блин, чем вы сами это не попробовали? Почему вы у нас во все верите? А вдруг и его вкусы очень специфичные?
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
Эх, а могла бы сделать и скидку. Процентов 10. О, благовоние, смотрите, река.
Do you see the pair that got pulled into time?
Так, погоди, мы же сделали его. Что-то как-то немного у меня трофеев в целом. Смотрю я на это грустное дело. Ворчишка, сфоткаться, попасть в новости. У нас есть все на... Мне нужен человек, с которым я схожу в зоопарк. Я найти никуда пойти не может, ну, это страшно. Вдруг мне там капибара приходит. Еще допку стоит.
Clive. Quick look.
Так, погоди, это мой квест. А, не, она просто по пути. Надела, наоборот, захваленная музыка, но она же охерительная. Что кинуть печку с обезьянами? Не, вряд ли. Обезьяны веселее, чем я. Вообще... Ну, вроде где-то здесь должна быть...
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it. The echoes have a will of their own.
По-моему, псина сутулая. Или не здесь, погоди. Короче, где-то ниже она должна быть, по-моему. И проход туда так и поставим себе.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Да, по-моему, где-то ниже должно быть.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
Довольно странно, что тут прям топ-квест посередине ничего.
You're injured.
А ты внимательный.
Where are your comrades?
Ether flood.
Зашел сегодня в магазин. Ну, они тут пока рассказывают. Увидел, что гига-наркоманская мороженка продается по скидке аж в 100 рублей. Не удержался и взял. Еще даже мангу взял. Сушеную.
It's only a matter of time before they won't stand a chance. We can't let those monsters.
Софткал? Нет, не мягкий кал, нет. Гиганаркоманская мороженка, это как? Это ты которую жрешь и жрешь, и жрешь, и жрешь, и жрешь.
Encampment is up ahead, just off the track. They must not reach Tabor. Forgive me, Lord Cougar.
Их не существует, но я вот нашел. С драгонфруктом. Черешню еще взял. От горя. На работе опять скучно, грустно и уныло. Ни хера нет и ничего нет. Сидишь целый день, лапу сосешь. Ничего делать нельзя, только лапу сосать. Другую работу. Другую работу тоже люди делают. Если я буду делать другую работу, они не будут делать работу. Они потом закрывают личность. Можно, конечно, быть эгоистом. Не тупо всю работу себя хапать. Но по мне так это неправильно. Не по-человечески по отношению к товарищам. Свинство, да и только.
Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe, thanks to you. Here, you've earned it.
Блин, а никого не интересует, как мы, в принципе, в момент разлития эфира в этих местах ходим? Ну так. Что в этих местах могут ходить только, ну как бы, носители и доминанты.
You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Wait. That scar. Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there, in Cosness, when you killed my brothers.
I was there in Rosalith when you killed my commander!
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
Да ты что?
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some...
Man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid. Someday.
Приятный молодой человек. Очень приятный молодой человек.
Let's go.
Yeah!
Вообще охота на этого песеля, где должно быть где-то ниже Тейбера. Мне нужно до города добраться.
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
Получается, тоже носит. Ну, в некоторых существах вроде как просто много маны, ну, эфира. И не могут сопротивляться разливу эфира. А если мало, то тебя вот переполняет, и ты безумным становишься. Таким чистым берсерком. А если эфира в тебе много, то ты можешь ему сопротивляться. Ага! Страшно. Криповая женщина. А подходит и в засос его сразу.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course.
It
makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherja is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloedanites who besiege the cities.
What is left of them? Yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
Свободный город Канвера.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce.
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
How dare you?
А вдруг там кого-то было очень хорошо, чего вы так встали?
Members of the council. You must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well. My colleagues, do you not see? The king, he has come to save us from the Akashic. He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools. Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough.
Ребята, вы очень самонадеянные. Да.
Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city, her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
Ну, может, он контролирует клинок, типа, врагов рубит, друзей не рубит. Хрен его знает.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominance, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it, like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Omielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Целуйтесь. Ну, хоть так. Ну, хотя бы.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yote.
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deep.
Всем нужна моя помощь.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches.
You! Finally. No one was paying me the slightest heed.
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word. Sadly, this far from home, I'm just a vagrant greybeard.
The university? You're a scholar.
A specialist in ancient cultures. The most accomplished in all Valisthea, some have said. Not that I look the part in these tattered rags. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. Yet here I am, a wizened windbag, bested by the many steps of Tabor. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled reach. would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my stead? You'll be amply rewarded, of course.
Climb the stairs and
memorize a few inscriptions for me, assuming you know your letters, that is. Some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history into stones dotted about the village. 3 of them, to be precise. 1 each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle I've been pondering for some time. Namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people. People quite unlike those of neighboring lands.
I can't promise I'll remember everything perfectly.
Remember what you can. I'll piece together the rest. Make for the domed pavilions, and you'll have no trouble finding the stones.
How are those new boots treated?
Стражи Кристалла, соль Тейбора, храните чистую кровь, пока прародители не бросят труды.
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
I go back to how it was.
So it's these stones to Canva and the rest of the boxes to Dallas.
Вспоминайте давайте.
Have you noticed the elder has been coughing myself?
Скитальцы золотых равнин, пустите корни в камнях, и в честь великого прошлого постройте здесь дом.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder?
These inquiries been hard to find since the skies turned.
It has indeed.
Дети охотников, которые ныне кормят которых ныне кормит земля, берите дары и славьте милость.
Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read. The engravings were in good repair considering their age.
Oh, would that I could have seen for myself. Come, don't tease me now. What did you learn of this place and its people? Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood, till ends the mother's labor. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of those fallen charged with protecting the mother crystals. But whatever could have driven the Guardians so far from their sacred charges, I wonder? The engraving to the north is next, I think.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home. Or, I think that was it, at least.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor its guardian roots could never account for. This is proving most enlightening. Now, for the final stone.
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle. 3 engravings, one for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers. Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ну или просто всем было насрать, дружище.
Here, and thank you.
История этого города прям как неуловимый Джо. Нахер никому не нужна.
How are those new boots treating you?
Beneath the flood, yes, and not a stone's throw.
Is that blade for hire, perchance? Because I have a mind to make a killing.
Figuratively, I hope.
Well, yes and no. A passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade, that an elder Dread Evis had been sighted in the fields of Carava. Dread Evis are aggressive beasts. Compelled as they are to acts of violence, few survive to maturity, but those that do develop a hide of phenomenal value.
A hide you want to sell?
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first that it might be crafted into marvels the likes of which the world has never seen. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed. But the worked hide of a well-aged beast, now that would fetch such coin that Gilbert
Дружище, тут как бы катаклизм везде, людям жрать нечего, а ты про какую-то шкуру.
I will share with you the bounty of our combined labors.
All right. I'll hunt your Evis.
Of course you will. When one lives in such troubled times, it is a fool who lets opportunity slip his grasp.
Здравствуй, дедовздой.
Leave Tabor through the east
Такой
gate,
игруль.
but take the
Местами
path that
душная.
branches west. Once you reach the checkpoint at Tovany, you are a mere stone
Наверное, про все
throw
игрули,
from
в
the
принципе,
fields
так
of
можно
Carava.
сказать, наверное, за исключением
I eagerly
Дума.
await your safe and above all triumphant return.
Ну, вообще всегда душно. На протяжении всей игры это херобора тебя душит и душит, и душит, и душит, и душит, и душит. И не перестает душить. Ладно, может по пути там будет. Поворот на золотой путь. Чем душнить до финалка может? Охерительными квестами.
Cyril, how fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix, and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem. will it?
The phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order.
Кали к другим, дружище, смотри, у меня тут целая галерея этих значков на рубахе.
To Canva, then. We'll talk about this later.
Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free cities under sea?
Oh, here.
Are you sure this is the right way, brother?
Они подсказывают, там тупик. Может быть, там то, что мы ищем.
Time to fight.
Да. Там есть проходка. Пропустил тупик. Ну, в любом случае, вот по значку идти. И думал, что здесь будет проход, в принципе, на основную локацию. И был прав. Убийство старый авис. Ты нами нужен, дружище. Ура! Думал, не улучшен? Да. Смотрите, такой битвах появляется. Нет, они также бегут за тобой. То есть они, в принципе, все время рядом. Он песик, Джилл вон. Джошуа стоит.
Here's your hide, as requested.
I worried you might never return. Quickly, let me see it.
Только на подпаленных от молнии я ее огненным мечом потыкал, огнем пожег. Охерительно должна быть шкура.
Yet as adamant as her virtue. This is everything I'd hoped for, and more. Clearly, my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of considerable talent to have bested the beast with nary a scratch. Join me as my honored partner. With my means and your might, We shall be as wealthy as the merchant kings of Zemeckis.
I don't plan on making a habit of this. I'm busy enough as it is.
Very well.
Няшные тянки были, но мы их
If fate
всех
had a hand in our
убили.
meeting, it would be unbecoming of me to beg. Do not allow me to keep you from being about your business.
Была няшная БДСМ тянка вся в коже. А была сочная милфа. Очень сочная. Вот. И есть жил. А еще где-то мид есть, но непонятно сколько лет. Насколько все легально. Да не то. Блин, да? Ладно. Ты просто отжил, да, просто отжил.
Let's go.
Но Милф же инцест. Но это она для Клайва инцест. Да, нашли.
You're on my side, Total.
Ну, это элитные мобы. Он-то, кстати, нормально. Тут 30 тиков по 500, это 15 тысяч. По сути, это очень много урона. Здравствуйте, Алексеевич. Чуть ли не самый домашний спел пока что.
Shouldn't have messed with the leader of the pack, eh, boy?
Еще в лучшем луч, ну да, когда-нибудь. Мне вот теперь дико интересно, а где у этого остроуса задница, то есть, ну, урки.
Then let us be rid of them.
Don't get surrounded.
Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
Одна республика, один город. А, то есть есть старый Канвер и есть просто Канвер. Понятно.
Sounds like thunder.
Ну, еще два сада не появились. Сколько можно? Говорили же, что под конец доп-квесты будут просто бомба, просто пушка. Просто вау.
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come.
А вот Мид.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
Быстро подкатил. Братан. Сразу. Опаньки. Дядя.
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled.
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in the city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the horde arrived. Some in the merchants' district to the west, and a few of us on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the merchants' district, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
Yeah. Я и мой пес. Вечерело.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things.
Да, быстро ребят смели.
They've been routed. Farewell. They're wearing Waluda armor.
Ну, хотел сказать, вы что, наркоманы, что ли? Почему орки 20 уровня? Напряженный музычек-то заиграл. Ведь там орки напополам с акашами. Да, жеваные вы щелдовики, твою налево. А в другую сторону ультой. Ай, ладно. Блин, какая армия может быть у маленького, ну, как бы, у маленького свободного городка максимум ополчения какой-нибудь. Ну, кукусеньки. Господи, не беси меня. Распылили бедолагу. О! Еще разок! Опять беспалевная арена. Ну, попал. Материализовался такой. А, не, он просто телепортироваться умеет. А, держи. Раз. Два. Три. И сверху еще разок.
city's leaders gather. There may still be survivors inside. Where are they? These creatures.
Я ж думаю, сейчас опять какой-то гигадракон прилетит. 5000. А, господи, я думал 2000. Это было несложно. А, опять этот мужикан без жопы. Слушай, а где он доспехи нашел?
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt, and now you're here with an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rosfield.
Ну, хорошими играми. Не знаю. Мне по душе.
Like you and me. Albeit one's unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains in this once raucous city.
You'll pay for what you've done.
As you wish.
Тем более, все фуфу я считаю хорошими играми.
Looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I'm Sigmir of House Harvard, and you will yield.
Вторичную просто безыдейно. Ну, назовите мне и вторичную игру. Тетрис. А при этом интересно.
You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame?
What now?
A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir. Watch closely, Mythos. Yes! Yes!
Yes, yes, of course!
Actually, I wouldn't.
Мужик, конечно, на пафосе нравится. Я такого не ожидал. Да, зараза ты, жопа руки. Ладно, охерительно будет. Прикольно, чувак.
The vessel is strong. My liege.
Clive!
You're all right.
As are you, I see.
We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we
Вы,
arrived.
кстати, видели средневековые гульфики для рыцарей?
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Скажи. Загадки.
Nothing. I hope.
Там такие куканы.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
О, да ладно.
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Walud.
Мужик, какие-то у тебя безумные глаза. Все выбирают как Варнов. Ну что он Барнаб. Барнабу. А по-моему, мы его как-то не впечатлили особо.
Wild and impetuous. I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Ты же вроде тоже неплохой мечник. Может, как-то успокоишься?
Stop calling me Mythos. But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
По-моему, нам надо текать. Уже, по-моему, слишком хорош, черт подери. Он даже не воплощается, просто клинок призвал. Ну, бец. Куда ты против папы? Ох, что-то я сомневаюсь, подруга, что ты нас прикроешь. О, отсылочка. Собакин с мечом.
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Ironworks.
Will he be all right?
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him. This place is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for. If the guilds caught wind of what we were up to, they'd all want a piece. All right?
And how is he? Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here. We would have lost him if it were not for you.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body. But he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew?
Одним ударом все сухожилие.
Your lordship. Don't know what I was thinking, putting you to the trouble like that.
Tis no trouble carrying comestibles to my ailing nephew.
I know, but you've already done so much for us. Pouring your gil into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss.
You risked your life. And for what? Some girl you hardly know. Why'd you do it? You not mad or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Clive!
You're awake, my boy. Oh.
All I want to do is help. And the world won't save itself. It was Sid. Your father, who taught me that.
Sounds like him.
Don't you dare do that again.
What of the royalists?
Fucked off, the lot of them, along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt. Behind here, I wouldn't sail without him. Clive. Jill didn't come back.
What do you mean?
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures. And as long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere. It's the Mithril engine. She's got a kick like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But do you have an idea?
Well, of course I do. My dad'll have seen this coming a league off. If I had his old writings...
If you had his old writings, you'd be sitting under a fuckload of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose he might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself.
А мы не придумываем, что будем делать с Варнавой. Это что-то как-то... Выглядит так, как будто нас трахнут. Опять 3 квеста где-то образовалось. Ну что? Даже не переживать за девочку. Да кому она нужна?
Right. Gav said that Otto might know something.
Which song should we listen?
So what do I owe the honor? What do you want?
Херачу рунный
It
клинок.
last you a good while.
Рунный пояс херач.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
Рунные наручи.
No scratches, alright? Yeah, that should do you. Not my best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you.
Вообще довольно странно, что ганблейдов здесь нет. Обычно ганблейды чуть ли не в каждой части есть. Чё, куда? Жуткая комета. Жуткая комета. Red Comet. Отлично. Жуткая комета. Сейчас потратим.
Clive? But if you're here, where the hell is everyone else? Don't tell me.
They're all right. But it's a long story.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items would go to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
Ну, пошли смотреть, где эти сраные допкусты.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye?
За справедливость. 2. По-моему, вот мы только-только сделали кучу доп. Заданий, сделали один сраный квест. Сажатно. Прошли под город из точки А в точку Б, опять зараза куча доп. Квестов. Маля. Куда так много?
Clive, I fear that I must bid you farewell. As you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most vocal ally, I trust you, as I trusted your predecessor.
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. And I understand more than anyone how you feel. But is revenge really the answer?
It is the one I found. And it is all that I have lived for since that day.
But what of Lostwing? Everything you've built.
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have served its purpose. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last, come what may. But there are those among us who cannot fight. Children, the elderly, bearers afflicted by the curse. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay a safe haven for long. And so, Clive, I find myself turning to you once more. Will you take them to your hideaway, that they might live even should Lostwing die?
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did not see to the well-being of those who rallied to my cause. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales, away from danger in case the Black Shields strike.
Understood. I'll make sure they get to the hideaway safely.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. Fare you well, Clive. And may Griga guide us. All of us.
А он не хочет, может быть, не знаю, ну, может быть, нас о помощи попросить. Ну так, чисто теоретически, если башкой, а не жопой подумать. Я понимаю, как бы месть надо мстить самому, так интереснее, с братками, мы готовились долгие годы. Но позвать хорошего бойца в свои ряды, по-моему, будет не лишней идеей. С учетом того, что мы этого дядьку тоже-то не шибко-то любим. По-моему, виноград засох.
Quinton has asked that you come with me. He can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can. There's a safe place I can take you to.
Well, if that's what the Master thinks best. Sid, none of us would be standing here today if it weren't for Master Quinton. We owe him our lives.
Не, ну по сравнению с гигafехтовальщиком, конечно, ну так в целом.
If he's saying we ain't safe in Lost Wing no more, it's because he ain't coming back. And if that's what has to happen, then so be it. I only hope he can see this through to the end. That we get to see justice done.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot! Where's everyone else? They ain't already left, have they?
They've gone with Master Quinton.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. We have to get Quinton to call off the attack. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. A fucking monster. They don't stand a chance against that thing. If I don't get the message to them, they're all gonna fucking die.
Не, ну как бы просить великого спасителя мира, как бы сбегать туда-сюда и помочь поковыряться ребятам в носу, это одно. А позвать великого спасителя мира на очень интересное задание, это совершенно другое. Вы не понимаете.
Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east, through the woods. Heavenhall, he calls it.
Promise us, Sid. Promise us you'll do what you can.
Я дарить. Он торгался.
Run like the wind.
Да че тут везде эти гребаные киборги-то повылазили? Хотел сказать, погодите, я не тут случайно с драконом бахался, но вроде не тут. Или тут. Нет, я тут с драконом бахался. А нет, не тут. Просто лесок похуже.
Quinton, are you all right?
No. But I am alive. Which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question all the way here. And they died. For nothing.
This must be the guard dog. Quinton. I'll hold it off. You go.
But
your comrades didn't die for nothing. They died for you. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
То есть вот в этом говёном доме живет судья, серьезно?
You're no guard dog. You're just a rabid beast that needs to be put down.
Ну, как бы он как раз ворует, поэтому люди его и не любят. Говёные винтажные. Ну, винтажные это другое, а это говёные.
If only we'd arrived earlier.
Говёный старый дом.
Is it over?
It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear, just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans, building a haven in Lostwing, freeing bearers from their chains and recruiting them to my cause. It was all for this. But what is this? Justice? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost, so that I might take another.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh, thank Grieger you're safe.
You're alive.
And so are you. I'm so sorry. I tried to warn you about that thing. And I hate to say it, but there's more bad news. It's Lostwing. It's been flooded.
What?
Ну, мы, видимо, сказали, играя эмоционально мертвого персонажа. Да. Ну, слава богу, что все отсюда ушли.
Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
А ну стоять!
Don't be a fool.
А, дебил. Вот ты как разлив-то пережить ты собрался? Дурачок.
It's not going to last long in there. Come on, Torgal. We need to make this quick.
Ну чего не хватает? Каких-нибудь душных миссий на время. Блин, вот переместить бы навыки молнии в Титана с его пассивкой. Или в Гаруду с его пассивкой. Потому что пассивка, блин, у Рамоха, ну говна пирога, ну серьезно. Навыки у него классные. Ну да, можно ветер, там можно хватать врага, плюс и реал комбат есть.
I need to get back to Quentin. Quentin. Look at me! Thank the founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here.
Пойду я свет включу.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
Flood has filled the valley.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one's life's ambition.
No, Master Quentin. Save your strength.
Что за стоны? Понятия не имею.
All that I strove for is gone. Only emptiness remains.
Как... Так у тебя было, ничего у меня не было.
I have nothing left to live for.
Какие-то гачи мужики стонали за стенкой.
Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge. We're more than that to you, and we all know it.
I thought you weren't coming back. But I prayed, and you did. There's got to be a reason for that, right? Can't we just go back to how it was? You know, you looking after us all.
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quentin. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we still do.
Your village may be lost, but it seems your people aren't, so long as you remain to guide them.
But why? After what why would anyone follow me?
'Cause we're family, aren't we?
Family?
Yeah, and all our comrades who went with you, they felt the same. Lostwing weren't just a village. It was all of us.
It was. And as long as we're still here, it is too.
We can start again. Build a new Lostwing. Right here in the Bales.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another begins. Why just a village? We could build towns. A nation, even. What's to stop us?
That's the Master Quentin we know.
Please. I am nobody's master. Quentin will suffice. After all, we are family.
Ребят, вы недостаточно лысые, чтобы такое говорить.
Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my people.
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf. You saved my life twice over. And more besides.
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. Nothing but the best. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet. If you don't mind waiting, that is.
I look forward to it.
О, вывеска повешенного. Эй, ну чё там, чё, куда там, чё там, где там? Какие у меня квесты в букладе были? Это опять душные квесты с разбойниками.
If we're going to do this, we'll need...
Clive, your timing is impeccable. It just so happens that right at this very moment, we're in need of someone with your talents.
And what talents would those be?
Why, your fearlessness and your skill with a blade.
I'm listening.
My skill with a blade, ну как
As I'm
бы...
sure you're aware, when these dark skies
bit
swept over
shit,
the Republic,
так
so
сказать.
too did a wave of chaos and confusion. Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers have lost their masters, or taken the opportunity to flee them. None remain free for long, of course. Most find themselves under the protection of the Fist before they get far. But the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges, which means it has been looking to sell.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more, and for an attractive price, no less.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, we have nowhere to house them. So we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. Somewhere far from the prying eyes of those who would see
Пойти
them
убить
enslaved once
пару бедолаг, которые живут на окраине.
we have found one. Cashlock. A small hamlet hidden in a canyon. The place was abandoned a long time ago, but when the men moved out, the beasts moved in.
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman to encourage them to look elsewhere. You'll help, won't you?
Ну куда же без этого? Конечно, помогу, да. Как же я откажусь?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation of our guests, as we discussed.
Of course. Leave everything with me.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village to stock and furnish. Residents and all. Even if I begin right now, I'll be working day and night. So I'd better get started. Try to clear the place out before the wagons roll in, won't you?
Тут не просто все чистенькие, они еще и на стиле. Все, посмотрите на эти прически,
We'll find a
одежды.
village in Chaidra's Thread, past Laney's Cleft. My man there will open the gate for you.
All right. Wish me luck.
I'm sure you won't need it.
Let's go.
Как удачно, что мы это ущелье уже разведали. Не правда ли?
This must have been a nice place once. And it will be again.
Я не могу повернуться. Да пошел ты к черту, блин. Натаргетилась не на того, блин.
To me!
Иди сюда, птичка, блин. Держи. И еще держи. Смотрите, God of War кричит лучше. Да, просто кричит. Или да.
That's all of them.
Да ядрить, попади.
Something the matter, Theodore? Quiet.
Those are our terms. I trust that you will give them your full consideration.
I shall. Thank you.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes. And, no. But enough about him. How did you fare down in Cashlock?
It's done. The village is safe now.
You made quick work of it, as always.
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me keep you. But Clive, don't tell her I was watching her, will you? She'll only get upset. I'll explain everything once you've finished with your report.
All right. We'll speak then.
По-моему, братан какой-то грязный вуриарист. Подсматривает тут. Подслушивает.
Eloise, I just got back from Cashlock. The village should be safe now.
Thank you, Clive. Here, something for your trouble. Well then, now that you have laid the groundwork for our little project, I suppose we'd better finish the job. The first thing we'll need to do is make sure our offer for the bearers is accepted.
You're still in negotiations?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf, but things have been trickier than we anticipated. I suppose it's to be expected. This is the army we're dealing with. Fighting's what they do. But we shall emerge victorious in the end.
Well, if you need any help, you know where to find me.
I'm not sure I do. But thank you, all the same.
Мне тут интересно, тут, блин, за освобождение целой деревни идут 1200, а за перевозку туда-сюда просят 9 лимонов. Либо я стою очень дорого, вернее очень дешево, либо перевозки в этой мире какие-то просто конченые.
One of the bigger trading houses.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Well, every trader in Dharmekia has. They operate across the length and breadth of the Republic, and they're still expanding. They've been trying to get Eloise to join their ranks for some time now, and judging by her reaction earlier, I'd say she had half a mind to accept their latest offer.
And you'd rather she didn't?
I would rather she did what makes her happy. And I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery, and we have striven to save others like me ever since. But this was not the life my sister wanted, nor the one she deserves. I won't let her give up on her dreams again for my sake. She freed me from my bonds, and she must be freed from hers in turn.
You're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what my sister did for me.
and I want to repay the favor by letting her live her own life. But each time an opportunity to do just that arises, she turns it down. For my sake.
She loves you.
And I love her. Which is why I want this time to be different. To show her that I don't need to be watched over anymore. Though I'm sure I'll still need some help from time to time. I trust that I can count on you.
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, I had better get back to work. These bearers aren't going to move themselves. That's a job for the Crimson Caravans.
И это была типа заявка под другой квест, что ли, или что? Под дальнейшее развитие. Так, где там Сина была эта сутулая? Это здесь, да, вроде? Серпия она должна была быть, сколько я помню. Че, где-то около серпа, да.
Let's go.
Жалко, что в ту локацию, блин, нигде кристалла не поставили. Очень там его не хватает. Ну, просто где-то около серпа нужно искать места отгороженные круглые и квадратные. Короче, места для боя. Либо здесь, либо здесь. Сначала в ближнюю посмотрим, если нет, вдаль наконец побежим. Ну да, наверное, где-то. А, ну вот.
Be safe.
Ну, кружу круглые места. Жутко какая-то. Сейчас нас страхнут.
That's like no chocobo I've ever seen. Something tells me it won't be easily broken.
Во, начинается. Я же говорю, сраные метеориты пойдут. А дерьмо! Хорош! Память! Вот дерьмо. Твою мать! Жесть какая. Пирог комет.
Poor beast. There was nothing I could do.
А слушай, по-моему, мы не особо-то и наша помощь нужна была, если так подумать, ну так в целом. Ну вот так и точно такие же, как в FF Tactics были, один в один. Херня просто спамит кометами, и спамит кометами, и спамит кометами, и спамит кометами, и спамит кометами.
Ah, Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it isn't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe haven. But there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is a new home for our new arrivals. And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy, what happened. And if any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be left in ruins.
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den.
Ну я понял, да, всех бандитов прибить, да.
They are too. Would have sent someone to clear them out sooner if my boys didn't already have their hands full fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon it's time.
I do.
Да, давай.
Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have bandits sully the...
Всех изгнать из деревеньки.
Of course.
Мне вот интересно, зачем мне чье-то мнение по поводу освобождения деревни, если я могу прийти, крикнуть «Раму!» и как бы... Все бандиты в деревне умрут.
So Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rossfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us, not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I. Which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful if you would. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues running for the hills.
So, what can you tell me?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen at our last count. And rather less, thankfully, the road that leads there will more than likely still be crawling with Akashic. A small force would suffice to clear the village, but if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and a very hard place indeed.
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic who come too close. Make sure I'm not taken unawares.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself, my lord.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few bandits.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead. We'll be with you before long.
All right. I'll meet you at Eastpool then.
We shall see you there. And make...
А, мы победим. Зуб даю. Зуб даю, победим. Ну или умрем, пытаясь.
You see, you can just walk in here. Kill him.
Аннигиляторная пушка! Бач!
Or face the consequences. That's the end of that then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here?
Да, очень интересно.
It goes to.
Сдули.
Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching. I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashik.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away. Before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own.
Не, ну слушай, жирный, конечно, подгон для ребят. Тут, блин, и мельница, и целая деревенька, и с домами отстроенными. Причем такими основательными, каменными. Поля вон уже есть рядышком.
Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
Забирайте взад этого бесполезного.
And we will, my lord. Safe travels.
Eastpool is in safe hands. Time to go and tell Martha.
Ну вот это, конечно, возвращение обратно к создателю, это ну.
Ah, there you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of my own. What matters is you did it. And now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say
Тем более, зачем вот на картах перерисовывать название деревушки? Был написан Eastpool, пусть Eastpool и будет.
But their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need, the rest is ready to provide it.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
Слушай, по-моему, ребята без меня бы справились. Все. My job is done here. Теперь можно сосредоточиться на главной задаче. Нету наград за чей час, посмотрим. Да, есть. И опять новая охота. Я только что справился с этой. Там же только одна была, имей совесть. Человек в черном, Lost Week Sandwich. Если будем там заглянем. Талисман воплощения. К этому письма весьма ценное, необычное, за него не потребует ни платы, ни благодарность, считайте напоминание о том, кому лучше присягнуть на верность. Талисман воплощения. Что-то кажется мощное. Увеличивает длительность действия тоника храбрости на 30 секунд.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, do you think Mid's ship will ever sail?
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. But you'll already have read it. I'd better keep looking. What do we have here? Oh, Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these.
Как полезно улет, но не то слово.
We've had no word from Canva for days. Please tell me Mid is all right.
I remember seeing this doll in Sid's cellar. I wonder if it was Mid's. Huh. What's this tucked inside it?
Медодол, я знаю, что любишь загадки, это наверняка придется тебе по душе. Ищи открытие моих вершин, решая, куда бы ее запрятать. Я вспомнил твой первый опус, дитятя. Там я оставил, раскрой сердцевину. В третьей строке не помешал бы рифм получше, да и хер с ней, удачи тебе.
Sid's best invention. Huh. That sounds promising. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. What would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
Блин, если слушается, как же он скрипит, когда бегает.
Well, did you find anything?
Possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee. Unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all. Not least her dad. You should have seen how proud he was of the little scamp. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden something inside it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are?
Paul said it was an army of a...
А могли бы девочку порадовать и принести ей загадку?
I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope, nothing. We just wanted to listen to all the songs at once. So we pressed all the buttons. Like this. See?
All too well. All right, out of the way.
Сейчас мы тут понажимаем все кнопки.
Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There. How about now?
You fixed it! Sid fixed it!
Сид фиксик.
He more than fixed it! Yeah, new music!
Huh. Never heard this one before.
They started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
Well, don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though. Sid showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed.
Ну, Сид же вроде как бы не был особо изобретателем, или был? Ведь как бы, ну... Какого хрена?
Just the two I was looking for.
Aye. Lose a patient?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yes, left. He did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies. Should we go after him?
No. We're not the Prince's keepers. He's free to do as he sees fit.
I'd rather he did so in bed. His wounds are nowhere near healed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canvera. What is it with this realm's princes and their aversion to rest?
Ask me when I get back.
Работа
Though I may
такая.
be some time.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
All right, Clive. Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. Tough for that. Speaking of which, I'm actually a bit,
Worried about him. And you want my advice?
afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring to say thank you. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn, thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl instead. Try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like that. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around, I thought maybe
I'd speak to him again. Well, I suppose there's no point leaving him to stew.
Cheers, Clive.
I'll be sure to pay him a visit as soon as I have a moment.
All right, I'll meet you by the forge then. You come along when you're ready.
Где вот интересно, то есть сколько еще квестов, как бы там есть еще что-то помимо вот 550 или все?
Best of luck out there, Sid.
То есть как бы это потолок.
She can't kick. Glory to Griga. There you are. And not a moment too soon.
What's happened?
Taya's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival of her latest patient, she's refused to stop, even for a moment. I've tried offering to see to him in her stead, but she won't hear of it. Clive, she hasn't left the infirmary in days. She's pushing herself too hard. And if she doesn't rest soon, will you talk to her? Order her to her chambers if that's what it takes. Because if she keeps this up, I fear the hideaway will be without its best physica before too long.
I know better than to order Taya to do anything. But I'll speak to her.
Thank you. I pray you have better luck than I did.
Well, Taya, Rodriguez worried about you. And if what he says is true, then so am I.
Блин, коса у нее
We
тоже
all
как-то
admire your
здоровущая.
dedication, but you do need to rest.
I will, when it's time. Until then, I'm staying put. We owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone who doesn't deserve to die alone. It won't be much longer. The crystal's curse has almost finished its work. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the agony of those last few hours.
How would tears help this man?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy. Alicia, it's the only thing strong enough.
You wouldn't, Taya. Surely. There must be something we can do for him.
Sometimes an easy death is the greatest kindness we can offer. You do well to remember that, Rodriguez.
I will. We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the
А
draft.
нельзя его сразу в Элизию забубенить? Или она тоже должна быть свеженькой?
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Pass. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid contact with the tears. I'll make sure the other ingredients are ready before you return.
Thank you, Clive.
Ну, понятно. Thank you. И еще один доп-квест здесь же.
Bloody hell, Clive. Not this again. Oh, ain't you got better things to do with your time?
That remains to be seen. August tells me he showed you a ring.
Эти сюжетные двигали, по лицу вон получили же от короля.
Come on, mate.
Адмирала его убили.
Bottling it up ain't gonna help no one. If it weren't the ring, and it was something I said, then I'm sorry.
It was the ring, right?
It brought back some happy
memories, that's all. Memories better left forgotten.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn. But sometimes it helps to talk about them.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so hard to understand?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work of Zoltan. We apprenticed together, back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his the moment I saw it. Bastard's improved, though. More than I thought possible. That thing's a work of art.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, maybe. What's it matter to you?
It matters because engraving metal's a nightmare, and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is, I couldn't make anything even half that detailed.
So what? You're an armorer, not a jeweler.
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe, and my keep you dangerous. As far as I'm
Вот это
concerned,
дилемма,
every swing of my
дружище.
hammer's another blow.
Я не могу сделать такую же тонкую гравировку. Я мастер-оружейник, понимаешь, братан? Мастер-оружейник.
Better than second best. And I refuse to be shown up by the likes of Zoltan.
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit? Learn his secret.
I doubt he'd be too happy to see me.
Then just this once. Make peace with being second best. Swallow your pride and focus all your energies on the task at hand, keeping the curse breakers armed and armored. Provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you can't, and it's going to distract you, we need to do something about it.
What'd you say, Blackthorn? You know he's right. And it's not like you'll be going alone.
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name is then? Zoltan, was it?
In Dravozd, my old village. He won't have left. He's the chief.
Dravozd, eh? That rings a bell. Not far from Tabor, right? Just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravozd as soon as you can, yeah? And I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold feet.
Good luck with that. I'll see you there.
Но от этих квестов хоть какой-то прок есть, за них награду дают. Но ядрить, колотить, что, блин, мастеру, броднику и оружейнику, видите ли, стыдно о том, что он не умеет делать очень тонкую ювелирную гравировку, ну это писец. Это писец, чё.
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back to the yard?
Vaguely. Is something wrong?
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most of the Morganbeards to take root, but they rarely flower. I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I believe I have a solution.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Morbles. I know, but hear me out. Morbles are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by an abundance of nutrient-rich ether drawn from their environs. I believe that by
Короче, иди и найди Мальборо нам,
the
да.
appendage's wealth of vigor-inducing nutrients might well stimulate the flower to bloom. The endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove the theory.
Разумеется, я помогу, куда же я денусь?
And all you need is a single vine from an ordinary Morble.
That is correct. A single vine. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. But, as luck would have it, a most extraordinary specimen is rumored to haunt the swamps of Rosaria. Why, a notice concerning this very creature was only recently posted on the hunt board.
How timely.
Как кстати, да.
I shan't keep you any longer.
Как кстати, как удачно так все получилось. Вот ведь совпало. Как хотите заметить, да, название Ironworks. Также называется обычно мастерские Сида. То есть Ironworks. Опять отсылочка. Давай, Нектар, где там на болотах Розарии что обретается? Показывай. Лоствик Себрик, шепчущие воды Розарии. Поехали. Ну, хоть бежать недалеко.
Faster!
Простите, сэр, я хочу Мальборо. Ну, кстати, да, хорошее название.
Straight home now.
О, Мальборо под названием морковка. Эй, ну я же нажал. Все, морковка, ну что? Дешево и сердито. Чуть не отъехал. Отросток Мальбора, цветок Мальбора. Используя при изготовлении предметов. Ну, похоже, на это бубуня пригодится. Так, что там, лоствинг был, да? Сенбрек, да, вроде? Сенбрек, лоствинг. Но опять же, да, то есть ищем... Я понял, где. Ну, или я предполагаю, что... Я думаю, что я понял, где. Да. Если они здесь, то я не знаю где. Других предположений у меня нет. Так, нет, не сюда. Ну вот типа сюда, но... На карте показано, что это где-то здесь. Что-то я не догоняю. Вот вы херачите сюда. Мил друг. Херачите, значит, херачите. И вот здесь должен быть проход, судя по карте, но здесь его нет. Либо все-таки нам не туда. Либо нам сюда, да, сюда. Ты песель пыхтит. Ага. Ой-ой-ой. Как же он больно-то бьет. На тебе по жопке. Да, неприятно был противник. Так, че, куда нам надо? Сюда, да? Слушай, ну что-то мне кажется, что вот отсюда от Нортрича будет быстрее добраться.
Do you see anything you like? You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. Why? Your storm is...
Так, правильно, да?
Time to fight.
Ну, блин, там еще какие-то бомбы летают.
Rodrigo could have mentioned his spiders would be the size of curls.
Поди со всех со всех паучков соберем по одному глазику. Ой, не по одному, а всего один. Ну где ты там? Отлично. Так, дальше поехали. Сегодня мы слышали очень трагичную, историю о том, как бывшие ученики не поделили какую-то девушку. Из-за этого Блэкторн ушел и начал пить. А потом его нашел Сид. И вот так они и познакомились.
The free cities under sea.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Знаете, как будто бы и банально не были бы такими истории, но... Они, в принципе, кажутся реальными. И поэтому, наверное, такие, типа, ну ё-моё. Не могли что-то более оригинальное придумать? Как и есть.
Kicked out already?
No. This charmer ain't letting anyone through.
Why are the gates closed?
Chief's orders. No one's allowed in without his say-so. Not that I'd have let you in anyway. You look like trouble. I suggest you go home.
That's what I'm trying to do, you little prick. Ain't changed a bit, have you, Snotty?
No. It isn't.
Что ты видишь на сразу? Ну так задумано.
Long time no see, eh?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, it was meant to be a surprise, but since you are so nicely, I'm here to see Zoltan, you fucking numbskull. Now let us through.
All right. Just don't go starting anything with the chief.
Yeah, I'll promise I won't throw the first punch. That good enough for you?
Go on then.
Much obliged.
So this is Dravosht. Not much going on, is there?
It's a smithing town. When I was a lad, you'd have to shout to be heard over the sound of hammer on anvil. Clive, you're good with people. You speak to Zoltan.
Hey, you ain't backing out now, are you?
There's a river of bad blood between me and the chief. But if someone can build me a bridge, then I'll cross it.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Блин, что я должен сказать? Типа, блин.
Near the forge on the hill. It was our master's. He'd have inherited it when I left.
Forge on the hill.
Good luck. You'll be needing it.
Ну, типа, Блэкторн пришел. Можешь ему рассказать, как ты делаешь супер тонкую гравировку, братан? Ну, очень просим, ну, пожалуйста.
Мама.
Hotter! Hotter, damn it! Those miserable flames wouldn't melt butter, let alone iron.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm looking for the chief.
That'd be me.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll bet it is. Keep the gates closed, I tell him. Well done, Snotty. You're not welcome here. Get out. Before things turn nasty.
Blackthorn's here.
What did you say?
He's traveled a long way to see you.
Yes, has he?
А у вас что, один голос на двоих, что ли?
Down by the gates.
Then I suggest you take him with you when you leave.
Didn't you apprentice together?
So what if we did?
Fuck! We're getting nowhere. These bearers' flames are next to bloody useless.
We're never going to be able to fire up the forges unless we can find some new crystals.
I'm a busy man, as you can see, so do me a favor and piss off. Oh, and if you're struggling to find your way out, ask Blackthorn. That prick knows exactly where the exit is. He's not wanted here. And neither are you.
All right. I'm going.
Может, трахнем их, как следует. Это что они вот, людей тут эксплуатируют? Явно видно, что люди нехорошие.
Let me guess. Zoltan told you to piss off.
As a personal favor to him, yes.
Well, at least he didn't beat about the bush.
There'll be no talking him round. Not after what I did.
Which is what exactly? If we're to help, we need to know. What turned the village against you?
I left. Dravozd. Zoltan. The burden of leadership our dying master dropped in our laps. All of it. There are two kinds of smiths in this world, you see. My kind, who are in it for the love of the craft, who labour on a single piece from dawn to dusk to get it just right. And the other kind, who are in it for different reasons. People like Zoltan, whose work is quick and cheap. The kind of smiths who shit out a few hundred blades, reap the profit and divvy it out among themselves. There wasn't a single day we weren't at each other's throats. And bit by bit, people started taking sides. You would have torn Dravozd in half had it gone on. So, I left.
You didn't have to do that.
Zoltan's a better chief than I would have been. His way of doing things kept food on people's tables. Dravozd prospered without me and my lofty ideals getting in the road. Until the crystals run out at any rate. Without magic to fire the furnaces, this place
Ну да, по идее, ребятам топить тут особо нечем.
It depends on how you look at it, though. There's got to be other ways of making fire. We manage it in the Deadlands.
Thanks to Sid's ingenuity, yeah. He saw all of this coming. Knew crystals were the problem, not the solution. And spent years coming up with ways of doing without.
You know what I mean, though, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. What I'm trying to say is that it's not your fault. You couldn't have predicted this.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I don't want to be the greatest smith alive just because I happen to be the last. Clive. Dravozd won't last long without its furnaces. So, do you think it's time we shared Sid's bellows with the world? The way I see it, it's your decision to make.
Hold on, Blackthorn. Sid made those things for us. They give us an edge over the rest. And you'd be throwing it away.
All right. Do it. This place was your home. I won't abandon it to its fate. Sid's creations were never meant to be hoarded. It was only ever a matter of time before we shared them. Let this.
Ну, то есть все-таки Сид был каким-то инженером, а не военным. Теперь канон соблюден хотя бы.
Wouldn't you agree, August?
When you put it that way, of course. It's like hearing Sid speak from beyond the grave.
Thank you, Clive.
Shall I go and fetch the plans, then?
I know I'm off by heart. I'll be needing some help, though. Building a furnace isn't exactly a one-man job. Do do us a favour and round up anyone strong enough to lug a brick or two with you, August.
All right then.
And I've got a job for you too, Clive. Finding me some salamander skin. I need leather for the bellows and nothing else will withstand the heat. Luckily for us, salamanders feed out in the fields of Carava.
Time for a spot of hunting, man.
Мне вот интересно, а че же они, зараза, саламандр-то тогда не используют для разжигания? Посадил саламандру там, надавил на нее, она сделала. И огонь горит. Надо много огня, поймал 3 саламандры, надавил на них, они и нормально. Какие-то непродуманные люди. Есть же бомбы. Пока они, падла, взрываются, они горят.
Let's make this quick, shall we? Straight home now.
Живут еще. Не, вряд ли дракончики, как врач, что взрываются. Они что маленькие были, поэтому взорвались. Типа чихнул, пернул, взорвался. Вот пора амулет на силу Токио. Так у меня и так амулет на силу Токио.
Any trouble finding the skin?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
Простенький, правда, но какая разница.
There should be plenty. Right then, time to put these louds to work. If everyone pulls their weight, we'll be finished in no time.
Well, I'll be damned. I honestly didn't think it'd work. But it's hot enough, all right. And without a single crystal in sight.
Седьмой,
You know
наверное.
what this means, don't you? I do, yeah. Dravost is saved.
Sorry about earlier. I take back everything I said. That thing you built us is an honest to God's marvel. You've saved our village.
It's Blackthorn you should be thanking. He oversaw the construction.
Give this to him, would you?
What is it?
Pit coal cinders. After he left, I spent years trying to eke the most out of our forges. That there was my answer. Chuck it in the fire, and your forge will burn hotter for longer, which will do wonders for your steel. Our secret for yours. Only fair. I've always envied Blackthorn. Since the day I became chief, I spent every spare moment trying to match up to the bastard. No amount of sleepless nights at the anvil will ever bridge that gap, though. He's a genius. Plain and simple. The man Dravost needed. But he took all his talent and left. Gifted and free. Is it any wonder I hate his guts?
The cinders would mean more coming from you.
I need to forgive him first. And that's not gonna happen.
Какие сварливые ребята.
Well, you know what they say. Oriflamme weren't built in a day and all that. These things take time. Especially when they involve two geezers who hold grudges tighter than their hammers. But what matters is, Blackthorn's got that twinkle back in his eye. And I'd call that a job well done.
So would I.
I reckon he's going to be at it a while yet, though, so why don't you head off without us? I'll see that the old git gets home safe and sound.
See that you both do. I'll save the cinders till then.
All right. It'll be a nice little surprise for him.
Тут рецепт причеток, ну, либо новый меч, либо поиск какой-нибудь. Что-нибудь типа этого.
Cole said it was an army of Akasha.
Thank goodness you're back.
Ничего уже были, да, только толку-то от них все равно никакого.
Is this what you needed?
Они буквально вот тебе прикольная штука, буквально на один квест, и на следующем же квесту идет обновление магазина. И там оружие продается лучше. Ну или через 2 квеста основных. Ну такое.
Ty is right. Sometimes it's all we can do. A single dose dulls even the most agonizing pain, and all other sensation with it. It may be a gentle way to die, but it is death nonetheless. I wish there was another way.
How are you feeling?
Light, mid-here. Drifting on waves.
Good. Just relax. Let the waves carry you to a better place.
Thank you, Daya. I'm so proud of you.
He's gone. Thank you, Rodrigue. And you, Clive.
I'll see that he's properly laid to rest.
The man you helped today was my mentor, back in the Southern Isles, on the front lines of some meaningless war. I was still a child when they shipped me to their triage tents, to treat the wounded with my gift. But in such blighted lands, I was next to useless, until he taught me the truth.
Это интересно, какого вот какой дар носителя, то есть какая стихия исцеляет, если здесь нет стихии жизни?
Respite from the agony of the curse's end.
And a kindness Sid would have approved of.
You know as well as I what life is like for a bearer soldier. Marched from one battle to the next, never knowing which might be your last. A commander may care nothing for the bearer spent in his service. But my mentor's gift gave the dying one fleeting moment of tranquility before the end. I've no tears left, Clive. I've seen too many of my friends taken.
Феникс. Но это Феникс. То есть, думаете, огонь?
We need to be the ones to change it.
And we will. I promise.
Не, ну...
I hope so.
Это ж Феникс. Хотя да, тут же огонь это Феникс, тут же это не Ифрит, так что, наверное, да. Хотя, с другой стороны, блин, как-то вроде все говорили, что только дар Феникса позволяет исцелять. То есть, ну,